Closing arguments are underway right now in Hunter Biden's historic federal gun trial. The prosecutor is up right now as we speak, and he just told the jury the evidence has been ugly and overwhelming, that the president's son knew he was a drug user and that he knowingly lied on a background check form when he bought a gun while he was addicted to crack cocaine. NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Dilanian is live outside the courthouse following all the details for us. So, Ken, what are some of the other big takeaways so far from the prosecution's closing arguments?
Vicky, lead prosecutor Leo Wise began his closing by pointing and nodding to the presence of prominent people in the audience, including First Lady Jill Biden. He said, "You might recognize some of these people from the news, but that's not evidence." And he repeated the line that he started this case with, which is, "No one is above the law." And then he ticked through, as you said, he mentioned that there was a lot of evidence relating to some sordid elements of Hunter Biden's life and his addiction to drugs. And he said that the evidence is ugly, it was personal, but he said it was absolutely necessary to put that evidence in. And then he meticulously walked the jury through the evidence that the prosecution provided that Hunter Biden was using drugs, was texting with drug dealers on or around the time he bought that gun in October of 2018. And he even attacked some of the defense witnesses, essentially in their entire case, saying that, for example, they put on two people who worked at the gun store, but it didn't really prove one way or another whether Hunter Biden lied on the form, which is the crux of this case. There's just a lot of evidence that went unrefuted, and Prosecutor Leo Wise is walking the jury through that about Hunter Biden's drug use. What they don't have is explicit witness testimony or a photo of Hunter Biden using drugs, say, the week that he bought the gun. But under the law, they don't have to prove that he was using drugs that day or that week, just that he was a habitual user of drugs while he purchased and owned that gun.
You know, what are we expecting to hear from the defense after you just laid out all of this evidence that seems irrefutable?
Yeah, so the defense's case is a narrow one. They're trying to establish reasonable doubt on the question of whether Hunter Biden acted knowingly, whether he lied on the form knowingly, whether he was knowingly a drug user. Now, that seems like an odd argument to make because he's referred to himself as an addict. He wrote a whole memoir about his use of drugs. But what they're trying to argue is that during that period, he had gone through rehab, he was doing better, and he may not have thought of himself as a drug dealer. The problem is the evidence on that score is light, and it's contradicted by texts that he sent in his own words to people who the prosecution says were drug dealers.
All right, NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Dilanian. Ken, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.